Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I thought it would be kind of fun to share with you some purported dupes and kind of get your feedback on which ones you'd like to actually see. Can I dupe both as a non-makeup artist, a lay person, lady of a certain age, and if any of these jump out at you more than others, if they're still available, you can get your hands on them. Some of them I had to kind of search far and wide for, but I thought I'd go through what the original is and then what the dupe is. And if you're down with that kind of video and you're okay with saving some coin and want to put in the work to try to find it, maybe this will help kind of guide you. So the first one I'm going to go through is a Natasha Denona palette. This is the Layla palette. I do have the mini Layla that I did a video on a while back, but that's what the palette looks like. It's gorgeous. And these are good size pans. I think this is one of her $129 palettes. And I do have, like I said, I do have the mini of it, but this is the dupe for it. This is a C-Color Cosmetics. It's called Twilight. I still have the protective cover off of it, but I have used this. That's what the dupe looks like. Significantly smaller. I mean, if this is not an everyday palette, and I think it could be. I mean, this really could be an everyday palette because you have a lot of the warm browns. You've got some pops of, you know, kind of indigo, purple, royal purple. I don't know what you call that. One of the things that C-Color Cosmetics does is they don't name it the same. They don't lay the palettes out in the exact same way, but the shades are very, 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 very close. And I've had really good luck with C-Color Cosmetics formula. I can speak to that. I can speak to that not really being disappointed. Okay, so that's the first dupe. Layla duped to C-Color Cosmetics Twilight. Second one is the Tropic Palette. This one I had to find, like, I think I got this off Poshmark, but it was new, still in the box, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at that. So, very, very colorful. Different than Circo Loco. You do have a row of really, really bold, a little bit less natural looking colors, but then you've got two rows of very, very normal colors. This is the dupe for it. This is again C-Color Cosmetics Tropical Palette. And this is laid out much more similarly than the last one. Like the layout of these shades are almost identical. Again, much smaller pan size, but if you don't want to spend the, and again, I think this is another $129 palette. If you don't want to spend the $129, you buy the much cheaper version of it. C-Color, I've asked C-Color for a code to save you guys some money, and they say I have to have more subscribers and stuff before they'll even give me a code, which has made me not want to do a bunch of their videos, but whatever, you know, I will. I need to do these. Okay, the next one is the Natasha Denona Vega palette. This is one that I just recently got. I picked this up from Sephora. It is a all neutral palette. There is a combination of shimmers and mattes in here, and it is a gorgeous everyday wearable palette. The dupe is the Sahara palette from Alter Ego. And this one was sold out. I think maybe it's back on again. You'd have to check their website. This is not laid out exactly the same. I do think, I'm trying to remember here if the, nope, shame names are not the same either. So they're not calling this a flat out dupe, but the shades are very, I mean, it's the same palette. It's the same palette, just smaller pan size and for a fraction of the cost. I want to think that, if I recall, the Alter Ego palettes are maybe like $16 and the C-Color Cosmetics are cheaper than that, 10 maybe. Rhonda over at Hot Mess Mama MD, Makeup Diva, not medical doctor, she has a code at C-Color Cosmetics and it may be like Hot Mess 10. I don't know. Go follow her and tell her I sent you. So anyway, she'll show me some love. Okay, and then, okay, so the next one I'm going to show you is a Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. My husband actually asked for this the last time my husband did my makeup for my 250 subscribers. And I hadn't had it yet, but I do now because I went on a little Natasha Denona shopping spree. They had some sales, you know, where you could buy a 2-pack of them for discounted price. So that's Sunrise. And the dupe of Sunrise is the Alter Ego Aurora palette. Again, smaller palette that looks like this. Now, this Sunrise palette, I think, is one of the $65 palettes. So it's a little smaller than the $129 one. The pan size seems just maybe even slightly bigger, but very, very, very similar to the more economical Alter Ego palette. Not laid out exactly the same, but the shades are pretty much all there. I like the Alter Ego formula, but as far as dupe brands, C-Color was like my first dupe brand, and so I have kind of a warm, soft spot for C Color Cosmetics as opposed to Alter Ego. I like Alter Ego. I just prefer C Color because it's where I started. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you the dupe for is the Gold palette. This is a gorgeous palette. See, I look at these and I'm like, okay, I want to use them all. So reflective case. And again, I think this is one of the $129 palettes. Largely neutrals with gold, and then these two kind of teal colors. You've got an aqua color and you've got a darker teal. This one also reminds me just a little bit of the Wild West palette, the Urban Decay one. It's not exactly the same. If that color story is your jam, but you don't want to spend the money on it, $129, because I think this is another one of the large ones, there's your dupe right here. It's the C Color Cosmetics palette, and it's called the Golden palette. So not an exact name. The shades are laid out darn near identical. You can see maybe a slight variation in the pan. You know, the true test is actually getting them on your eyes and seeing if they're actually a dupe. If the color story works for you, you want to save some money, I'm okay with the dupes. All right, the next one is the Safari palette. Here's the cover. This is an all matte palette. It's a little richer. If you're not a shimmery person and that you like eyeshadow but you prefer mattes, maybe because you've got texture on your eyelids, or if it's just you want something pretty but not overly sparkly, this is a fantastic palette. The dupe for it, though, is going to be the C Color Cosmetics Savannah palette, and that's what that bad boy looks like. Hold these up to you side by side, and as you can see, they've done a good job of matching up exact color for color in the layout of the palette, but much smaller size. So if you're an eyeshadow collector but you don't have the money for, you know, the high end, I have zero qualms recommending the C Color Cosmetics versions. It's just a really good formula. And if you're not somebody who's going to be spending the money on the original anyway, I don't feel like you're taking money from the original. I'm not a creator, and I do feel like there's, you know, some copyright and stuff like that. But I also like the economical stuff too. Like, you know, if I'm looking for a polo shirt sweater, I could buy the Ghani version for $300, or I could buy the Amazon version for $25. I'm not feeling bad about buying a less expensive version. The last one I'm going to show you is the Sunset palette, and it's more of a bronzy kind of cover. A similar color story than ones we've seen. The dupe is the C Color Cosmetics Sundown palette. So we've got Sunset, Sundown. If you're looking for the warm, summery, fall kind of inspired palette color story, oh my gosh, I'm just flopping around here. That's your dupe right there. The layout is not identical. I don't know why some of them they do and other ones they don't, but the color story is very, very close. I don't see, like this one seems to have like this kind of pink peachy color up here, and down here you get a little bit more of an apricot-y color. Those are like, that's like the one that jumps out at me. The yellow up here seems a little lighter than this more mustard color down here. So this one seems like it's not exactly the same, but awfully close, and it is what I would consider the dupe of it. So I want to go through and dupe these and kind of feed into my channel dupes and trying to recreate them. This is not a new concept, right? Other people have done it. I'm late to the game, but I'm also not a makeup artist. I'm not a 20-something Instagram, TikTok, YouTube famous person. But I do want to know, is our money better spent with the high-end stuff, or can we get by with the cheaper stuff? Can we get 3 looks from the same palette? These are kind of questions that I like answers for, so this is stuff that I go to YouTube. So that's the reason why I kind of started this channel, was to kind of, it seemed like there was less people doing makeup application videos. I'm not going to call it a tutorial because I'm no expert, right? I can just share with you how I put it on. It's an application, right? So we're going to do some dupes. We're going to start, I don't know how often I'm going to be able to get these up and online. I'd like to say at least once a month I would do one of these Natasha Denona dupe videos. If I do one a month, that gives me 7 months worth of videos, and that takes up one of my videos for the month. I hope that's interesting to you guys. If you guys have a preference, if there's one that you want me to move to the top of the list or do before the other ones, let me know. Let me know what that is, and we'll do an application, we'll do a look or 2 with both palettes, and I don't know, maybe we'll see if my husband can decide which one's the higher end and which one's the less expensive version. That's all I have for you today. If you're interested in chit-chatting with a lady of a certain age, you are welcome to subscribe, hit the little bell to get notified when I upload, leave me a comment down below. I love interacting with you guys. I love your comments. Follow me over on Instagram at Sheli Tsunami, and until my next video, bye for now.